Hello, and welcome back to Talk Zara.
Hi everyone, we're really happy to have you here with us today.
If you're new to the channel, please click the subscribe button and like this video.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Daniel. On Talk Zara, we help you practice real, everyday English through natural conversations.
Yes, thank you so much for learning English with us today.
Thank you. Today we have a very common and very useful topic.
Yes, today we're going to talk about how to talk about your job or work in English.
This is something people ask very often.
Questions like, what do you do? Or where do you work?
And knowing how to answer these questions clearly is very important.
Especially when you meet new people.
Or when you're talking to coworkers or classmates.
Exactly. So today we'll talk about our own jobs and share useful words and phrases.
Everything will be simple and easy to understand.
Let's get started.
So, Laura, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about you?
I'm good too. It's been a busy workday, but a good one.
Busy days are very common.
Yes, many people describe their job as busy.
So let's start with a very basic question.
The question everyone asks.
What do you do?
That's right. Laura, what do you do?
I work as an editor.
That's a clear answer.
Yes, you can say I work as or I am a.
Both are very common.
What about you, Daniel?
I'm a project coordinator.
That's interesting.
Thank you. When people talk about their job, they often mention their job title.
A job title is the name of your job.
Like teacher, doctor, engineer, or manager.
Or editor, designer, or student.
Exactly. You can say I'm a teacher or I work as a teacher.
Both are correct.
Sometimes people also say where they work.
Yes, for example, I work in an office.
Or I work at a hospital.
Or I work from home.
That's very common now.
So you might say, I'm an editor and I work from home.
That's a perfect sentence.
Another common question is, where do you work?
How would you answer that?
I work for a small company.
That's a good answer.
Or you can say, I work at a publishing company.
People often use at or for when talking about work.
Yes, I work at a company or I work for a company.
Both sound natural.
Now let's talk about what you do at work.
Yes, your daily tasks.
People might ask, what do you do at work?
Or what does your job involve?
That means what kind of work you do every day.
For example, you can say, I write and edit articles.
Or I organize projects and talk to clients.
These sentences help explain your job clearly.
You don't need to give a lot of detail.
Just a simple explanation is enough.
When I talk about my job, I usually say I edit texts and work with writers.
That sounds very clear.
What do you usually say?
I usually say I plan projects, schedule meetings, and communicate with teams.
That gives a good picture of your work.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about work schedules.
Yes, that's another common topic.
People might ask, do you work full-time or part-time?
Or what are your working hours?
How would you answer that?
I usually say I work full-time from 9 to 5.
That's very common.
You can also say I work flexible hours.
Or I work shifts.
These phrases are very useful.
Talking about your job doesn't need difficult grammar.
Simple sentences work best.
And being clear is more important than being perfect.
Exactly.
Now that we've talked about job titles and basic questions, there's more to explore.
Yes, like talking about what you like or don't like about your job.
And useful vocabulary for work conversations.
We'll talk about that next. Now, let's take a moment to summarize what we talked about today.
Yes, today we talked about how to talk about your job or work in English.
We started with basic questions.
Questions like, what do you do? And where do you work?
Then we talked about daily work tasks.
Checking emails, attending meetings, and working on projects.
We also talked about work schedules.
Full-time, part-time, working hours, and breaks.
After that, we discussed how to talk about what you like or don't like about your job.
Using simple and honest sentences.
We introduced useful work vocabulary.
Words like colleague, manager, deadline, task, and skills.
And we talked about future plans and work goals.
All of these topics come up very often in conversations.
The most important thing to remember is to keep your sentences simple.
Clear English is better than complicated English.
You don't need long answers.
Just a few sentences are enough.
Now it's time for you to practice.
This is the most important part.
Here's our question of the day.
Are you ready?
The question is, what do you do for work?
Try to answer in 2 or 3 simple sentences.
For example, I work as a designer. I work full-time in an office. I like my job because it's creative.
Or, I'm a student. I study at a university and I work part-time.
Any answer is fine.
Don't worry about mistakes.
Making mistakes is part of learning.
The more you practice, the better you get.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe to Talk Zara.
Like the video and share it with someone who is learning English.
Your support helps us continue making helpful content.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
Learning English takes time and patience.
Be proud of yourself.
Keep practicing every day.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye for now.
Bye.
So now that we've talked about job titles and basic questions, let's go a little deeper.
Yes, let's talk about what a typical workday looks like.
That's something people often ask.
Questions like, what is a typical day like at your job?
Or, what do you do during the day at work?
These are very common questions.
Laura, what does a typical work day look like for you?
On a typical day, I start work at 9 in the morning.
And what's the first thing you do?
I usually check my emails and see what needs to be done.
Checking emails seems to be everyone's first task.
Yes, it helps me understand my priorities.
After that, I start working on my main tasks.
For me, that means editing documents and reviewing content.
That sounds focused.
It is. I also communicate with writers during the day.
Communication is a big part of many jobs.
Yes, answering messages and giving feedback takes time.
In my job, I also start by checking emails.
And then?
Then I usually have meetings.
Meetings are very common at work.
Yes, I attend meetings to discuss progress and plans.
That's a useful sentence for learners.
I attend meetings is very natural.
Another common phrase is, I work on projects.
Yes, you can say I work on different projects.
Or, I work on one main project.
Both are correct.
During the day, do you take breaks?
Yes, I do. I usually take a short break in the morning.
What do you do during your break?
I stand up, stretch and get some water or coffee.
Breaks are important.
Very important. They help you stay focused.
I usually take a lunch break around 12:30.
Same here. Lunch is a good time to relax.
Do you usually eat alone or with coworkers?
Usually with coworkers.
That's nice.
We talk about work but also about other things.
Lunch conversations are often more relaxed.
Yes, it's a break from work.
After lunch, how do you feel?
Sometimes a little tired.
That's very normal.
In the afternoon, I continue working and attend more meetings if needed.
The afternoon is often quieter for me.
That depends on the job.
Yes, every job is different.
Another common question people ask is, do you like your job?
That's a very important question.
How would you answer that?
I usually say, yes, I like my job.
And then you can add a reason.
For example, I like my job because it's interesting.
Or, I like my job because I work with nice people.
These are very natural answers.
You can also say, my job is challenging.
Challenging means difficult, but in a good way.
Yes, it helps you grow.
Some people say, my job is stressful.
That's also very common.
Talking honestly about work is okay.
You don't have to say everything is perfect.
Exactly.
Another question people ask is, what do you like most about your job?
How would you answer that?
I usually say I like working with my team.
That's a good answer.
Or I like solving problems.
For me, I like the flexibility.
Flexibility is a great word.
It means you can manage your time more freely.
That's very useful vocabulary.
On the other hand, people might ask, "What don't you like about your job?"
That's a tricky question.
Yes, but you can answer politely.
For example, I don't like long meetings.
Or, "I don't like tight deadlines."
These answers are honest but professional.
You don't need to complain too much.
Simple answers are best.
Now let's talk about work environment.
That's another common topic.
People might ask, "Where do you work?"
Or, what's your workplace like?
You can say, "I work in an office."
Or, I work in a quiet environment.
Or, "I work in a busy place."
These phrases describe your work environment.
Very useful.
Now that we've talked about daily tasks and feelings about work, there's still more.
Yes, like work vocabulary and example answers.
And also how to talk about future work plans.
We'll talk about that next.
So, now let's talk about some very useful work-related vocabulary.
Yes, these are words you hear often when people talk about their job.
One very common word is colleague.
A colleague is a person you work with.
For example, I work with friendly colleagues.
Another common word is manager.
A manager is the person who leads a team.
You can say, "My manager is very supportive."
Supportive means helpful and understanding.
That's a great word to know.
Another useful word is deadline.
A deadline is the time when something must be finished.
For example, I have a deadline on Friday.
Deadlines are a big part of many jobs.
Yes, especially in office work.
Another word people often use is task.
A task is a piece of work you need to do.
You can say, "I complete my tasks during the day."
Very natural.
Now let's talk about your skills at work.
Yes, people sometimes ask, what skills do you use in your job?
Skills are things you are good at,
For example, communication skills
or organization skills.
or technical skills.
You can say, "My job requires good communication skills."
That's a strong sentence.
Another common phrase is work experience.
That means the jobs you've done in the past.
For example, "I have 5 years of work experience."
Very useful for interviews.
Now let's talk about asking questions about someone else's job.
That's important for conversations.
You can ask, "What do you do?"
Or, how long have you worked there?
That's a very natural question.
You can also ask, do you enjoy your work?
Or, "What do you like most about your job?"
These questions show interest.
And they help keep the conversation going.
Now let's give learners a full example answer.
Okay.
I work as a project coordinator. I work full-time in an office. My job involves planning projects, attending meetings, and working with my team. I like my job because it's interesting, but sometimes it can be stressful.
That's a great example.
It's honest and clear.
And it uses simple language.
Now let's talk about future plans.
Yes, people often ask, "What do you want to do in the future?"
Or, do you want to change jobs?
How would you answer that?
I might say, I want to grow in my current role.
Or, "I want to learn new skills."
You can also say, I'm looking for new opportunities.
That sounds professional.
Yes, it's a polite way to talk about change.
Talking about the future doesn't have to be detailed.
Simple answers are enough.
Now let's talk about common grammar mistakes.
One common mistake is using the wrong verb tense.
For example, saying, "I am work" instead of "I work."
Yes, the present simple tense is important.
"I work in an office."
Another mistake is forgetting articles.
For example, "I am teacher" instead of "I am a teacher."
Small words make a big difference.
Another common mistake is pronunciation of job titles.
Yes, practice helps with that.
Now let's talk about confidence.
Confidence is important when talking about your job.
Even if your English is not perfect.
Clear and calm speech is more important than perfect grammar.
People want to understand you.
Exactly.
Now we're getting close to the end.
Yes, just one more part.
Summarizing and practicing.
That's right.